celebrity bartending, potentially some bikini waxes, beer bowl 3, and also, as everyone else saw, Travis shaking it off with a special guest down at Tight End University. Broke the internet there.
When you tune in for a new episode of New Heights, you expect the banter. You expect Jason Kelce's quick-witted jabs and Travis Kelce's layback charisma. This week, though, something extraordinary happened. What started as playful brotherly teasing spiraled into one of the most deeply personal and revealing conversations the Kelce brothers have ever shared with their listeners. By the end, fans everywhere were left with a new understanding of love, fame, and what it means to let your guard down, even when the world is watching. Jason kicked off the episode with his trademark energy, previewing a stacked show. There would be talk of his week down the shore, celebrity bartending, and maybe even some bike mishaps. But the topic everyone wanted to hear about was Travis's whirlwind trip to New York City with Taylor Swift, a trip that had already set social media ablaze with speculation and admiration. At first, it was the usual ribbing. Jason pressed for details, his questions a blend of brotherly mischief and genuine curiosity. What made this trip different? Why did the world seem so obsessed with every move they made? Travis, always the entertainer, usually sidesteps the personal stuff with a joke or a grin. But not this time. Something in the air had shifted. With a rare seriousness, Travis began to pull back the curtain. He described his time with Taylor not as a string of glamorous public appearances, but as a chance for two people, both at the peak of their careers, to step back and really see each other. There were no publicity teams orchestrating their moves. Instead, there were spontaneous strolls through Manhattan's storied neighborhoods, slices of pizza at Taylor's old favorite haunt, and hours spent in cozy coffee shops where the world-famous singer once scribbled lyrics and watched the city flow by outside. Travis's voice softened as he recounted how Taylor's face lit up when she found her favorite corner table still waiting for her. In that moment, he said, he realized how even global superstars are shaped by small, personal rituals and memories, just like everyone else. He wasn't just seeing Taylor Swift, he was getting to know Taylor, the person. The conversation reached a new level when Travis described an evening on a hotel rooftop in Tribeca. The city stretched out below, endless and alive, but up above it all, the world felt quiet. It was here, away from the stage lights and the roar of fans, that Travis and Taylor had their most honest conversation yet. Taylor spoke about the pressures of fame, the times when the spotlight felt less like illumination and more like isolation. For his part, Travis opened up about his own insecurities, the moments of doubt that sometimes creep in despite his confident exterior. What could have been a moment of awkwardness or distance instead became a turning point. Their mutual admissions of vulnerability didn't scare each other off, they drew them closer together. As Travis shared these stories, he made it clear that the real magic of their time together wasn't found in five-star meals or penthouse suites. It was in the ordinary moments. A late-night debate over whether to order Thai food or ramen, the comfort of walking side by side with no cameras trailing them, the laughter over silly disagreements that only couples understand. Jason, ever the older brother, couldn't help but joke that midnight food arguments were the true sign of a real relationship. But even he was clearly moved by Travis's openness. The banter remained, but it was layered with a new sense of understanding. The impact of the episode was immediate. Social media exploded with reactions, not just from diehard football fans or Swifties, but from people everywhere who recognized something true and vulnerable in Travis's words. Listeners flooded the comment sections with stories of their own relationships, their own late-night arguments and rooftop confessions. For many, it was the first time they'd ever heard Travis speak so candidly about love. Relationship experts weighed in, praising Travis for his emotional intelligence and willingness to be vulnerable in such a public forum. Fans created compilation videos, analysis threads, and even art inspired by the episode. The ripple effect was undeniable. It's easy to imagine that celebrities live in a different world, immune to the fears, doubts, and hopes that define ordinary relationships. But what this episode revealed is that love doesn't care about status or success. Even for two people who spend their lives in the public eye, the things that matter are the same: honesty, trust, and the courage to be seen for who you really are. Travis talked about how he and Taylor had already started planning for the challenges ahead. With Taylor's tour dates looming and NFL training camp just around the corner, their schedules would only get more demanding. But instead of letting the pressures of their careers drive them apart, they were learning to communicate better, to prioritize time for each other, even if it meant simple weekends away or quiet evenings at home. As Jason reflected on Travis's story, he noted how New York had become more than just a setting for their romance. It was a character in their story, a place where both of them could feel inspired, grounded, and free to be themselves. The city's energy mirrored the highs and lows of their journey, the chaos, the beauty, the moments of unexpected calm. Before signing off, Travis hinted at more adventures to come. Both he and Taylor know that the road ahead won't be easy. Their relationship will be tested by distance, by career demands, and by the unending glare of public attention. But there was a quiet confidence in his voice, a belief that the foundation they're building now, brick by brick, will carry them through whatever comes next. This wasn't just another episode of a celebrity podcast. It was a reminder that behind every headline, every viral photo, there are real people searching for connection. It was an invitation to look past the surface, to value the small moments, and to remember that vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's the heart of what makes us human. In a world obsessed with appearances and perfection, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are showing us something different. They're reminding us that the greatest adventures aren't always the ones that get splashed across magazine covers. Sometimes they happen late at night, over takeout containers, when you're brave enough to let someone see you. Not as a superstar, not as an athlete, but as yourself. Long after the podcast ended, the echoes of that conversation lingered. People talked about their own rooftop moments, their own battles with self-doubt, and the ways they found comfort in the ordinary. The episode became a touchstone, not just for fans of Travis or Taylor, but for anyone who's ever wanted to be known and loved for who they truly are. What made this episode so captivating wasn't just the celebrity gossip, or the inside look at two of the most talked about people on the planet. It was the honesty. It was the willingness to admit that, no matter how successful you become, the search for real connection never ends. It was a love letter to authenticity. So, what do we have coming up next? If the Kelce brothers have taught us anything, it's that you never know where the next great story will come from. But one thing's for sure, as long as they keep speaking from the heart, we'll keep listening, hungry for more. Stay tuned, because if this episode proved anything, it's that the best stories are always the ones that surprise you.